Hello, Julie Kay here, helping you find your way through grief and loss. And that could be any kind of loss, whether it's a move, death of a loved one, divorce, breakup of a boyfriend or a partner in your life. So I want to say Happy New Year 2024. Yes, it's here. Wow. So I have two questions for you that I want you to think about. You do not have to comment, although I love comments and I always try to respond back. And you're always welcome to PM me if you want to. But just think on this so that you can learn how to handle other holidays or times of the year that may be difficult. But what was difficult about your holiday season this year? Christmas, Thanksgiving, even New Year's, any of it? And then the second question for you to think about, what was different this year, but yet still good? Like you could say it was good in ways. Different, but good. So, what was different but good about your holidays, your Thanksgiving, your Christmas, your New Year's? So, please let me know if you want to, but think about that. And then out of that can come ways to think of what you can do to make it easier and not so hard or overwhelming or manageable. And I went over a lot of that in my videos in December of last year, since we're in the new year this week. So please go out and check it out. And the way you can find those is by putting in the word holidays, Julie K. Kettles, by Julie K. Kettles, my name, which is my channel name, Julie Kaykettles, like a teapot, or Mom Pa, or Kettles chips. So that's the way you can find those videos, by putting the word holidays, plural. Okay. So those are two questions, food for thought, I would love to hear about. And today, with that, I'm just going to share two verses. And as far as my difficult part of my holidays, just to share briefly, there's some elements I'm not going to go into, but definitely ongoingly hard to not know when and if I'd be able to be in my grandkids' lives more during the holidays. I did send them all presents, and I got a video of them opening them, which was nice. And I did get to talk to them one of the days near before Christmas. And just because I don't get to see them or talk to them much, that time of getting to see them in front of the computer and kind of coming to and fro and running around because they're all young was very special, and I'm kind of hanging on that. So, but and what was good or different is didn't go to my family's on Christmas Day for elongated reasons. It was not healthy for me to do. But I did get to be with my own sons and their girlfriends on Christmas Day, and my husband had off. Yay, that was a good thing. And also invited down to his girlfriend's families, who are very welcoming. So it was definitely a special day. And adding in my youngest's new girlfriend and her daughter. So that was very special. Some good things about it. Plus, we put on a very special candlelight ceremony. That was very special to be able to offer that to the community. It was wonderful, actually very positive for me. And having a Christmas party during our grief group as well. So also positives with my holidays. But two verses. This one is Psalm 71, verse 20. And it when you look at the lexicon, the real interpretation, it looks like it just goes right into it. But I personalize these. So this is my personalization of this verse. And it's also adding in some of the meanings that come from the original version in the Hebrew. So it says, though you have shown me, or though I have seen many troubles or distresses and evil, misery, or injury, right? You, God, will revive me again and bring me up from the depths of the earth. Now, what I see in that verse, just to share with you, to bring me up from the depths of the earth, many times when we're at a very dark place, is one way we call it. Like we like to visually call things, and I think it helps us. So, very dark place, very deep depression is the word we would use as a medical condition, but it can be put as kind of like we're in a pit or we're stuck. We're in a very deep place, right? So that is what King David says here. Bring me up from the depths of the earth meant he felt like he was in a pit, in a very dark, deep, stuck place. And he's saying God brought him out of that. And I'm here to vouch, and I know plenty of other people through the grief journey I've been in within our group who've been in pits, who've been in very dark places and felt very stuck in their grief. And they've come out of those places. And they would, a lot of them, most of them would attribute definitely God helped them, as well as getting a coach or counselor or mentor or being in a support group or etc. are all ways that help them for sure. So I think this is awesome because David is recognizing that and saying that he was in very distressing, evil, injury, troublesome, you know, times, right? Misery, but yet he is brought up out of that. So that I would vouch for on my grief journey. And I also know plenty of others who also would vouch for that. And some of them I've coached, which is such an honor to see a change in that and be a part of that. Another verse that is a key verse for this ministry, for me and my hearts personally, this verse has always meant a lot to me, and even more after my daughter died in 2020. So this ties into that passage that I just read in Psalm 71. Uses some of the same wording, only, again, kind of synonyms. So it says, it's 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 through 4. Okay. Blessed be the God and Father of my Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of empathy and mercy, the God or the source of all comfort. And another word for comfort there is consolation, encouragement, who is comforting me in every trouble or calamity or affliction or loss or grief. So that and that's the life-changing grief, right? Because if you're in a calamity or affliction or you're troubled, it's over something really, really that's shaken your world up and changed your life probably forever. So it says, who is comforting me in every trouble, so that I may also be able to comfort those in any kind of trouble or distress with the same comfort I myself have received from God. That verse is so special to me, and it's the foundation of our support group because of that. And it is the foundation of my coaching and helping others, however I help them, whether I just meet them, whether they come to our group, whether, I just meet them on the street and just listen to them and say, I'm so sorry for your loss. Whatever level I help them, that is a thrust for me, that I have received God's comfort and his help and his encouragement, his safety, his love, his non-judgment, no judgment, his understanding, because I believe God understands grief. He really does. Think about it. He's dealt with the whole world ever since there's been grief and death. So he does understand. He understands you. He understands what you're going through. He really does. Jesus went through so much more than what we realize on this earth before he died on the cross. It wasn't just his death and resurrection that did amazing things for us. It was the most crucial thing he did, but it was his life. Through his life, he understands a lot of what we go through. So with that, I can comfort and help others. So I wanted to share that in the new year. I shared it at our group the other night, and I felt led to share it on this video too, just to let y'all know, those who missed it, because I know a lot of y'all watch it when you miss it. Share this video out, please, too, to others. But just let other people know that they're not alone. They're not the only one going through this, what they're going through. They're not crazy. There should be no judgment. There should be no telling them to get over it or rushing them through the loss. I didn't plan on saying that, but I feel led to say that. There's just so many key things that can really help people to not feel worse than they already do about what they're going through. So those two verses I see tie together, because that distress is what God can bring us out of, even though we're in a pit and we seem stuck and no way out and we're all alone. We can get out of that pit with God's help and with each other's help, helping one another. And we can't do this alone. That's another thing that's a truthful fact. And then after, when we get that we come out of the pit and we know it's what happened and it's the past, but we can still understand it. We're still working through some of it, but we're at least out of that pit. then we can go and help others with that same help that we've received. So I hope you got something out of that. And I hope you think about those questions I asked today about the holidays, and have some more questions for next week for you to think about and reflect on the whole year so that you can help yourself move forward. Because God has called me to encourage you to move through your morning. That's the sign for moving, and keep moving forward. Move through your morning. God bless you. I'm Julie Kay, helping you find your way, signing off. Please share this video out and tell others about this channel. Bye-bye.